So, I mean, I get it that hospitals don't want you filming who's going in there, keep the privacy of the patients. Okay, here's this medical examiner truck that we heard about, but I'm not sure that it's too unusual for a medical examiner's truck to be outside of a hospital, and that looks like a refrigerator truck, which I think the New York Post also mentioned, Thermo King, that thing on the front there. I mean, maybe these units travel like this all the time. This doesn't seem excessive to me. This is the office of the medical examiner right here. So we can see the older portion of the hospital. Do you work for the hospital? And here's the medical examiner. These are all medical examiner vehicles, and it doesn't seem unusual if the medical examiner's office is right there. Isn't it kind of totally normal for all these medical examiner vehicles to be here? I don't know that they told us that the medical examiner's office is right next to the place. There's the hospital. And here's the medical examiner's office. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at more ambulances parked down there. So, I mean, you're telling me that people are dying at such an incredible rate that we need to build a makeshift morgue, but yet we have medical examiner vehicles all parked here. We've got more FDNY ambulances parked back over here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's driving, but I don't know. Let's see if these EMTs will speak to me. This is OCME, I guess the Office of the County City Medical Examiner, something like that. It's awesome. We got an EMT smoking a cigarette. Hey guys, have you guys been dealing with a lot of coronavirus patients? Have you been dealing with a lot of coronavirus patients?
There's a lot of people with fever and cough, but we can't confirm.
You can't.
We don't do testing.
Have you seen a lot? I mean, you're not wearing a mask. You don't seem worried.
This is my first day back, actually.
What's that?
This is my first day back.
This is your first day back? Why did they wait until now to call you? Hasn't there been a huge pandemic?
There's a lot of other things going on right now. We're just trying to keep up with the
What kind of other things? This is the biggest story in the world. Everybody's apparently, according to the governor, dying from a pandemic. Have you guys witnessed that? You look like you're hanging out texting. Everything okay?
Yeah, we get calls.
Are there hundreds of people in the hospital dying? They said one person dying per hour 4 days ago. So that would be 24 people every day. Plus somebody else said one person is going to infect as many as 59. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ambulances right here. I mean, don't you guys think that there should be like a lot of people running around going crazy?
Yeah,
No?
There's a lot of us out
Have
there.
you seen a lot of coronavirus patients?
Sorry?
Have you seen a lot of coronavirus patients?
Probably. Not confirmed.
But you're standing like 2 feet away from me. You're not wearing a mask. You guys aren't wearing rubber gloves.
Well, when we get patients, we wear masks.
Yeah. All right. Anything you guys can tell us? Where is this makeshift morgue that the New York Post said was set up outside of Bellevue?
I'm pretty sure it's probably, if you ask one of the staff members at Bellevue, they could probably point
But have you heard anything about a makeshift morgue? Don't you think EMTs would know about a makeshift morgue right over here?
Me personally, I wouldn't. Like I just told you, it's my first day back. I'm sorry, I can't.
No, it's okay. Thanks. Do you guys know anything about a makeshift morgue? The New York Post reports a makeshift morgue is being...
You can tell me about it when you find out.
But you haven't seen it, have you? Don't you think it's something that the EMTs would know about?
Are you serious?
What?
Are you joking or are you being serious?
I'm being serious. The New York Post had a story this morning that the Army was building a makeshift morgue outside of Bellevue Hospital. You guys work for Bellevue, right?
No, we're the fire department.
Well, you work for the fire, but Bellevue is right over there. You're bringing people to Bellevue all the time, right?
There is no morgue over there. Did you see one?
I did not.
Me neither. I hope not.
I mean, wouldn't you know? Like when you come into work, do they have like a briefing in the morning and tell you? No.
Not unless it's fire department related.
And have you seen hundreds of coronavirus patients?
We've seen a lot.
How do you know they have coronavirus?
Well, we don't know for sure, but we bring them in. If they have symptoms, we bring them in.
Does it seem like different symptoms than the flu and more people this year than last year? How long have you been an EMT?
Well, it depends, really. You can't say for sure unless you get tested. You know?
How long have you been an EMT?
3 years.
3 years.
Here with the fire department, 6 years total.
And are there a dramatic increase in calls this year?
Yeah, of course. We just did 6,400 last night.
6,400 what?
6,400 calls.
And how many do you usually do?
Averaged out 4,000 in the 4,000s probably.
So you're 50% over normal.
Last night.
Is the hospital busting out so much that they need to build a hospital on the West Side Highway in the Javits Center? I mean, that's what they say. You haven't been following it too closely, huh?
When we're not at work, we try to relax. I don't really watch the news that much.
Got it. All right, you got a lot of heavy stuff. Thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Be safe.
Take care. You too. I don't know what people think about that. I mean, so there we've got an EMT confirming about a 50% increase in calls compared to his rough estimate of what the average would be. I mean, does that sound like a pandemic to people or just a heavy flu season? I would think, 400% more, 1,000% more, 10 times the number of calls. That sounds more in line with like what we're hearing about on the news. So people are saying the mayor is a liar. Let's see what we got in the comments here. It is pretty cold and rainy again today. Oh wow, it looks like the comments are way delayed from where I am. Well, I mean, the New York Post, again, I have to say, is incredibly irresponsible at best. If they're talking about that white tent on the lawn, that could just be like an army office. If FEMA is setting up, I don't know how they, so wait a second, along 30th Street and FDR Drive Parkway. Okay, so let's go up there and see. All right, this is 30th Street, and people can see how much closer this is to NYU Langone than it is to Bellevue. So I wonder why NYU wasn't mentioned in that article. The New York Post ran a series of stories about Jeffrey Epstein that also made no sense. We did a lot of reporting on the photographs of Ghislaine Maxwell outside the In-N-Out Burger restaurant. Now here's a police line that they don't want you to cross on 30th Street, so that's pretty interesting. I guess I could take the sidewalk down there perhaps. So there's more traffic today, which is encouraging, I guess. Let's see what we can see here. Now, here's a white refrigerator truck, but I don't know that we could jump to any conclusions about what that might contain. Here's a medical examiner truck, but again, I mean, is that a strange thing to have outside of a hospital, even if, not a huge number of people are dying? Yeah, I mean, a bunch of like unknown vans here. Here's the VA hospital, has got a vehicle here. Have you guys seen a makeshift morgue around here? Sounds like a no. That looks like some kind of facility for, I don't know. What do we got over here? Here's the army dudes. I do see army dudes. So they're doing something, but this is nowhere near Bellevue. This is NYU Langone. I mean, is it a morgue? It doesn't necessarily look like a morgue to me. It looks like maybe offices being built. Let's see. How's it going? So there's something happening here, but I can't say that it's a morgue necessarily. Let's see if they'll talk to me. Is the army more likely to beat me up than the cops? Excuse me, can you guys confirm that you're building a morgue here? Huh? Talk to him? Can you confirm that you're building a morgue here? On the sidewalk. Okay.
Go this way. This way.
All right, going to the sidewalk. U.S. government official. So what are they doing? Special operations. Excuse me, can you guys confirm that you're building a morgue here? Can anybody confirm if this is a morgue being built? Sorry. Can you confirm that you guys are building a morgue here? Can you confirm or deny that? Is there anybody here who can answer my questions? Guys? Can you answer any questions or direct me to someone who can answer any questions? Are you guys building a morgue here? Is this a makeshift morgue? Guys, is there somebody in charge who can answer my questions? Guys, hey, is there somebody that can answer any questions?
No, not at this point.
Are you guys building a morgue here? The New York Post says you're building a morgue. If you're not, it would be helpful to tell people that. Cheetos are needed for the morgue. There's nobody here who can answer any questions. We just want to leave the public thinking that the morgue is being built, whether it is or isn't. Okay, so there we see the white tents. How do we know that's a morgue? Can you guys confirm or deny this New York Post story that this is a morgue that's being built?
Huh?
Can you
So
confirm?
I will have to direct you to my commanding officer.
Where is that person?
Okay. Sergeant P. Where's LT?
I'll wait right here.
LT.
Sorry? No, I'll wait right here, thanks.
LT.
Can you confirm or deny that this is a morgue being built right here?
I can't confirm or deny anything.
The New York Post has published that. If it's not a morgue, we should tell people because it's getting people very
I
upset.
have no comment at this time. If you want to talk to our public affairs for the Air National Guard, I'd suggest that.
So this is the Air National Guard building a series of white tents here that you will not confirm or deny is a morgue.
I'm not at liberty to comment right now.
Not able to comment. And is there anyone, how do I contact this public affairs
So I'll give
department?
you a Colonel Goldenberg is the phone number you want to reach out to.
Yeah,
He's a
let's
public affairs
have it.
officer, and I can give that to you, all right?
Sure. Have there been hundreds of dead people coming out of the hospital today?
Again, that's not something I'm going to comment on. Stand by for 1 second here.
Sure. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. So call Colonel Goldenberg. His number is 518-429-5186.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day. Be safe. So there we go. I don't know. Is the New York Post in its entirety so useless that they can't even do that? I don't know what that is. How do we know if it's a morgue? It's pretty cold and rainy. But I would say that this is another day out where we've seen a lot of ambulances sitting around. The front entrance to another one of New York City's major hospitals, kind of doing nothing. I don't know, maybe this is the back of Bellevue right here, so maybe it is connected to Bellevue somehow, but I don't know why they wouldn't mention NYU Langone.